Your time now, 6:13 this morning. Police in Moore are investigating the suspicious death and rape of an 18-year-old.
Police say they found Maddie Bills dead in her home on April 22nd near Southwest 34th and Telephone Road.
Madeline Bills, known to her loved ones as Maddie B., born on September 16, 2004 to her parents, Robert and Stephanie Bills. She was a bright, sweet, and kind-hearted child who showed profound affection for animals, and her passion grew as she matured. She adored her cat, Zeus, and the family's two German shepherds, Prince and Echo. She was the youngest of 3 children and had 2 older brothers who she had a very close bond with. She was an Oklahoma high school senior labeled a star student, a standout basketball player, and a beloved sister, daughter, and friend. Madeline was weeks away from graduating and was a straight A student. She was highly committed to playing basketball, which paid off as she excelled as a basketball player and recently signed a letter of intent to play women's basketball at Northeastern A&M in Miami in the fall. Apart from her athletics side, Madeline also enjoyed reading books and was a smart individual who was set to graduate in May earlier this year with a 4.0 GPA. Madeline starting dating 19-year-old Chace Cook. After some time, Madeline ended the relationship, but it isn't totally clear why, but believed to be stemmed from threats and physical abuse from Chace. Madeline lived in her family home, however converted the pool house into her bedroom so she had her own space and was separate from the house. At one point she considered moving back into the family home, as she had mentioned to her friends she was scared of Chace and feared he may try come over and attempt to harm her. Her words and indirect pleas sadly became true. April 22, 2023. On her neighbor's CCTV, an individual was captured climbing over the fence of Madeline's home and gaining access to her backyard around 4:38 a.m. After around a minute and a half on the property, the individual left the backyard the same way they had entered. Around 6:34 a.m. footage was captured showing a vehicle passing by Madeline's residence. Following this, the individual was seen climbing over the fence again at around 6:42 a.m. and proceeded towards the pool house where Madeline stayed. A short while after, around 7:17 a.m., the person is seen climbing back over the fence. Horrifically, several hours later, Madeline's family tragically found her lifeless body in her bedroom. They immediately called emergency services. Once arriving, the police saw indications of sexual assault. Interviews began with family members and friends. Investigators began to suspect Madeline's ex-boyfriend, Chace, who might be the one responsible for her death. Chace had apparently told multiple people that he had enlisted in the Navy and was training in California at the time of Madeline's tragic death. The alibi seemed strong and made it impossible for him to have been involved in her murder. However, prior to the murder, the more investigators delved into the case, they had found surveillance cameras had picked up his car in the vicinity, around 2 miles from the crime scene on the night before the murder. Authorities revealed that Chace was located in the Oklahoma City on Tuesday, April 25th, and was taken to the Moore Police Department for questioning. Upon question, Chace claimed to have driven to Galveston, Texas on April 16th for training to become a member of the Navy SEALs, and said he didn't return until April 23rd, one day after the murder. Investigators told Chace they had evidence he was in the area of Madeline's home at the time of the death. He quickly invoked the right to speak with an attorney, and the interview stopped. When searching his vehicle, police discovered clothing and his cell phone, which provided more evidence, and placed him at the scene. Police collected DNA samples before concluding the interview. In the report submitted by the detective, it was stated Chace's cell phone was in the area at the time of the crime. There is CCTV of a person looking like Chace climbing the fence, and according to court documents, a video was taken from his phone. It showed him sexually assaulting Madeline, who appears to be unconscious, and Chace positions the phone on a nightstand next to the bed to record it. The affidavit says Chace's DNA matched the DNA obtained from swabs taken at the initial scene and during the autopsy of the victim. Eerily, when investigators dug deeper into Chace's phone, they found a few disturbing Google searches a few days before the murder. Searches such as, "How long does a rape victim have to press charges?" and "What happens if strangled for a long time?" A while before this, he also Googled a substance called chloroform and how long does chloroform take to make someone fall asleep when injected? It was clear that at this point police had enough evidence. May 1st, 2023. Chace was arrested and charged in Chicago with first-degree rape and held at Cleveland County Jail. Initially, he hadn't been charged with her murder, as they were still waiting on the medical examiner's report. Eventually, after looking at all the evidence, they were able to charge Chace with the murder of Madeline Bills. According to the autopsy, it revealed Madeline had died due to strangulation. Jennifer Austin, a first assistant district attorney, labeled Chace as a threat to the community and to all females that probably know him. The evidence of video recordings, cell phone data, and tangible evidence that collectively placed Chace at the scene of the murder was presented to Special Judge Lori Puckett, who set Chace Cook's bond at $5 million.
It's always sad when you have a crime like this that it's occurred, and our thoughts and prayers go out to her family and her friends, and we just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to find justice for Madeline.
More police. Cook's phone had multiple videos of himself with Bills the night of her suspicious death. One of those videos was Cook filming himself sexually assaulting Bills while she was unconscious. More police say Cook was arrested in Chicago at a basic training camp for the Navy. He'll be extradited back to Oklahoma in the coming days. Now again, that suspect, Chace Cook, has been charged formally with first-degree rape. More police say that additional charges are possible pending the medical examiner's report.